In 1571, the Yucatan public became sick to the plague. One man tracked down a plant and alongside others, drank it. The substance turned individuals blue and made them unequipped for taking in air. They immediately moved to the sea and made a civilization in the profound water, Talocan. One of the ones who ingested the plant had a child named Kukulkan. The child grew up to become leader of Talocan. At the point when Fen passed on, she requested to be covered on the land. Kukulkan drove a few watchmen up to the land where he saw progress. They went tear the human advancement to account for his mom's internment. One of the locals referred to him as Namor, signifying the kid without adoration. Shuri works in her lab, making a solid attempt to make a fake heart-molded spice to use for her sibling and Wakanda's top dog, T'Challa, who is passing on from a sickness. Ramonda gradually strolls into the lab, declaring the ruler's demise. After a year, Wakanda is experiencing difficulty with different countries needing their vibranium. The Dora Milaje discover French military men attempting to take from their station. Afterward, Ramonda converses with the unified countries and uncovers the French's endeavor to take. She reminds the nations that despite the fact that the Dark Jaguar is gone, they will in any case battle. At a mining station, Americans mine in the sea utilizing a vibranium finder that was made by MIT understudy, Riri Williams. They utilize this to find vibranium in the sea. Abruptly they go under assault by Talok, Annals who don't need them taking their vibranium. The final helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the years since T'Challa's passing. They consume their memorial service pieces of clothing to imply the finish of the grieving time frame, in spite of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then, at that point, shows up, overcoming the line by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talocan and maintains that their assistance should prevent outsiders from taking vibranium. He likewise makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that has vibranium, Talocan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and that they can help him. However, they can't impede him. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of perhaps offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then, at that point, go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is dealing with an Iron Man-type defensive layer. Notwithstanding, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a cruiser, and Williams in her reinforcement. Abruptly, they are met by Talocanials, Atuma and Namora. A short engagement closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He additionally tracks down Kimoyo globules and conceals them. In Wakanda, Ramonda criticizes Okoye for losing Shuri and fires her from her situation as Broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talocan. Namor shows Shuri the development, attempting to persuade her regarding his goals, in any event, giving her his mom's armband. In any case, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does a few spying and sorts out the area. She then breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, yet just for additional torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city causing a full-scale war. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the royal chamber holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe and secure, yet just to suffocate simultaneously. Shuri grieves her mom's passing as Namor tells her she is sovereign at this point. He and his kin then, at that point, leave the country. In the interim, Allegra de Fontaine figures out that Ross has been speaking with Wakanda this entire time and has him captured. M'Baku converses with Shuri after the burial service and gives her ethical judgment that she shouldn't kill Namor. He then tells her he will give lodging to the dislodged Wakandans following the assault. Shuri then utilizes Namor's mom's arm band to make the counterfeit heart-molded spice which at long last works. She goes to the astral plane in the wake of taking it and is welcomed by Eric Killmonger, who claims they are something very similar. They contend a peace before Shuri claims she will kill Namor out of retribution. Shuri awakens and makes herself a suit. She then drops into a gathering among M'Baku and the older folks as the Dark Puma. In readiness of the fight, Shuri and Williams understand that they could debilitate Namor by warming his body up to where it can't get oxygen. They then make a second Ironheart defensive layer. Shuri gives Okoye new protection, acting similar as Iron Man's 2. Called the 12 p.m. Holy Messengers. Okoye initiates Annika to be separated of her two-lady group. In the sea, they utilize a vessel to bait the Talakanials into a snare. The fight starts as Namor appears to acquire the upper hand. Be that as it may, Dark Jaguar traps him in an illustrious claw contender as they remove off from the fight. In the interim, the Dora Milaje battle the Talakanials on the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 p.m. Heavenly Messengers deal with the airborne Talakanials. Dark Jaguar warms up the illustrious Claw Warrior, debilitating Namor. However, he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Puma shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves which detonates the entire boat, sending the two enemies into the island beneath. The two battle some more until Namor pierces Shuri. Notwithstanding, rather than polishing her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he bites the dust. A harmed Dark Puma breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then, at that point, hollers, "Wakanda until the end of time," as she protections up, sending an impact from the detonating claw contender into Namor. He is set burning as he falls. She remains over him to polish him off, however recalls her sibling, T'Challa. With these recollections of the man he was, she chooses to save Namor's life the same length as he gets back to Talokan. Namor has appreciation for the Dark Jaguar and joins her as they return to the battle scene and advise everybody to quit battling. Dark Puma then hollers, "Wakanda for eternity," indeed as the rest rehash it back. In the outcome, Williams gets back to MIT without her covering as the Wakandans need no contention with letting her keep it. Shuri leaves for High T as opposed to trying for the privileged position, which at last is tested by M'Baku. Afterward, Namor paints in his room as Atuma welcomes him. Namor guarantees her that their new coalition with Wakanda will be gainful. En route to jail, Okoye breaks Ross out of care. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia prior to leaving for the ocean side where she consumes her memorial service stately robe, permitting her to lament at last. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri discovers that Nakia and T'Challa have a child, Toussaint, who Nakia has been bringing up stealthily distant from the strain of the lofty position. Toussaint uncovers his Wakandan name as T'Challa.